Hey everyone, how are you? Happy Friday. Today is day 26 of the video challenge, or day 27 actually. And so today I want to talk about growth and discomfort. Recently I've been really experiencing a lot of discomfort, and it's sitting in my chest and it's sitting in my belly. And that discomfort exists because I'm pushing myself out of my comfort zone to do things to better myself, to grow and evolve. And that is really uncomfortable. And in order to grow and evolve, it's essential that we feel uncomfortable, because that feeling of discomfort is what tells us that we're actually changing. And so the last few days I've really been trying to find comfort in my discomfort, so that I don't retreat and go back to my comfort spot and kind of abandon what I'm trying to work through, right? Because that's a really easy thing that we can do. And fear wants us to do that, right? Our ego wants us to revert and go back to our comfort level because that's a safe place. And the reality is growth and comfort never coexist. So if we really want to be better, if we really want to change, those things are going to feel uncomfortable, and we have to accept that. And if you're not willing to accept that challenge and accept that discomfort, then you will never evolve and you will never grow. And the biggest reason for that is because we get stuck in fear and we hold ourselves back because it's uncomfortable. It doesn't feel good, right? And we want to avoid that. We live in a world in which, we're taught, whether we're a girl or a boy, we're taught not to feel. We're taught that, if you're a man or a boy and you feel, you're a pussy, right? You're not manly. And if you're a woman and you feel, you're hysterical, you're oversensitive, you're dramatic. And so there's all these negative connotations. And so there's this false sense that everybody has to feel joy and feel wonderful and feel happiness all the time, which doesn't exist, right? And so many of us, because of the way society raises us, have really poor ability to feel feelings and feel them in a healthy way. Most of us are trying to avoid those feelings, so that we don't feel. And how we do that, it really is dependent on who we are. For me, I leaned in on food. Food was the way that I comforted myself and prevented myself from feeling, right? And I still am working on trying to not do that. And it's a challenge. So today I want to kind of talk about, if we really want to grow and evolve and find comfort in the discomfort, how do we do that? And I think the first thing is that we need to change our expectation around that discomfort. And we need to see it in a positive way. We need to see it as an indication of change, and a sign of improvement. And so instead of pushing it away and saying that it feels bad, right? Putting it in that category of a good feeling and a bad feeling, let's acknowledge it and say, great, I can handle it because it's telling me that I'm improving. The next thing is, really when we're trying to evolve and we're trying to change our behavior, it's really about, making it bite-sized, right? We don't want to sit in this discomfort for a marathon, right? For hours and hours and days. We want to break it up. We want to step into that discomfort for 10 or 15 minutes, push something through, baby steps, and then come back out, right? And then keep doing that to kind of work the muscle. So experiencing the discomfort in manageable increments, whatever that looks like for us. We also want to surround ourselves with like-minded people that are going to motivate us to stay in that discomfort, that are going to help us realize that this isn't something to be fearful of, that, it's not going to last forever. We're going to get through it, and encourage us to evolve and be better in whatever aspect of our life that we want. I think we also have to change our wording and our mindset around the discomfort and the fear. And so eliminating the words of I can't, or it's too hard, or it's too difficult. And that can be done by just really looking at the task that we're trying to do and really, instead of thinking about it, making a to-do list, like making an actual plan, making it so that it's really tangible, so that we can make those goals and check things off a list, and then we feel like we're working towards it. And if there's a particular task on the list that it really brings up a lot of discomfort, it's really about stepping into the discomfort, pushing it through and doing it. And that's a muscle that takes work, and it gets better and easier every time we do it. It's a skill that we have to do. And right now, that skill is not easy for me. There's a lot of discomfort that I'm feeling. And so I just need to keep doing it, because I know that eventually that fear and that discomfort is going to be less distressing for me and more comforting. I think it's also really important to acknowledge our fear. Acknowledge that, we are scared and we feel out of our comfort zone, and that's okay, right? I think that we make assumptions that, if we're scared, that we don't have courage. And the reality is, courage is not the absence of fear, right? Fear isn't a sign of weakness. And I think that a lot of people associate fear as a weakness, and it's not. And I think that, we have to embrace and welcome that fear and discomfort into our lives, because it gets easier. And so when we welcome it versus pushing it away, it eases off, right? It's not as intense. It's when we try to push it away that those sensations get worse. And that occurs with a lot of emotion. And again, just like really acknowledging it as a sign of growth, and really patting yourself on the back that you're doing something that will forever change you. And at the end of the day, if growth doesn't occur if we don't have discomfort. Growth doesn't occur in our comfort zones. So what are you feeling uncomfortable about today? What are you working on? So anyways, that's my thoughts for today. Have a great Friday, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.